you do this, YouTube is going to put a 24-hour hold on you because they
The
want to
first
make sure
time?
the very first time. But after that,
Okay.
no, it's instant. And
Okay.
what I will do is actually give you a link to where it is in the chat here. And you can see it in the chat up top when you're seeing it. But in essence, it's live streaming us to YouTube on my YouTube channel right now. And it's
Wow.
kind of slick.
That's
But
cool.
it gives you the ability to do this if you choose to.
Hmm.
Right? I mean, it's all a matter of, and what it looks like from the control side is you get YouTube did a really good job with this. You can go into the settings, you can go into the analytics, you'll be able to see current viewers, you can see the stream health, so on and so forth. And what it looks like from an end user perspective is this. And it starts off with this, and it's not playing, but when you hit play, and then you have the ability to keep that and build a library of that. So technically, you could live stream classes out to people anywhere. And
Yeah.
you can work with that. And there's also another tool which is already integrated in all the classrooms by my AV team. And I believe Katie's doing a presentation. She manages the AV team for me. Panopto also has the ability to do live streaming out to people and record automatically to it. There's just a lot of tools that are available to do all of these things. But in short, there's a lot of capabilities within WebEx and the apps that are given to you. Our CIO says that we are not in the business of telling our educators what tools to use, but to empower them with the tools that they need. In private business, where I came from, and I did more than a decade in healthcare too, it was, you will use this. You will do it this way. Here, you have many, many options. In fact, you have four different video conference tools if you weren't aware of all four of them.
Oh, wow.
You have Zoom, you have WebEx, you have Google, and you have Microsoft Teams, which Microsoft Teams is a really good video platform. And
Is that
all of
like
the students have
connected to
available.
Skype?
No, we don't use Skype, and Skype has kind of died a lot in the industry.
Okay. Isn't that Microsoft? Or
Yeah,
am
it
I wrong
is.
about that?
You have Office 365.
Yeah.
And Teams is in there, and Microsoft has done a very good job of putting together the video. And an interesting thing as well is when you move to the cloud, remember I told you about the WebEx phone client, that is actually integrated directly into Microsoft Teams as well. This is Microsoft Teams. So it gives you the ability to have to tie all this stuff together. So there's just so many ways that you can do things. It's up to our faculty to figure out which is the best way to work with their students. So we're running short on time. Do you have any specific questions that I can give you some answers on or tell you how to get to things?
Yeah. So the live streaming, is that something you would use when you want an audience that's bigger than like WebEx could handle in a meeting?
Well, WebEx can handle 1,000. If you've got people more than 1,000, good for you. The real reason for that is you may be wanting to communicate with a larger audience, then you don't want to give them complications of having to maybe get into WebEx or even, and you can do that from Zoom too, and I'll be showing that later today. The whole idea here is you can reach a very broad audience almost anywhere in the world, and you're just giving them a web link, and it creates a library of the videos that you have out there. So it's commonly used by a lot of people. In fact, Campus Recreation had entertainment events that were done on YouTube Live for like stand-up comics and stuff who did stuff who couldn't physically come to campus during it. So it's a broadcast tool. in essence, is what it is. And
Yeah.
if you get
Yeah.
proficient with WebEx or Zoom and live streaming, you almost become your own little TV station. You have the
Right.
ability
Okay.
to send stuff out into the world and say,
Hmm.
come join me here, and that kind of thing. So it's,
Hmm.
think of it as a broadcast tool
Right.
to reach an audience that may be anyone, anywhere.
Hmm. And so when people want to join a WebEx meeting, do they need the software? Like, I don't remember what my computer did. Did it like download something so I could?
Browser, it's just a browser plugin if you're only attending it.
Gotcha.
If you're going
Okay.
to be a host and want to use a lot of the sophisticated stuff, then you want to get the app. And if you want to use the
Okay.
telephone, you got to get the app in its entirety. And if you haven't done this yet, I'm going to show you one last thing because I think you're going to like it.
Okay.
And a lot of people
Okay.
haven't taken advantage of this. In your calendar, there are browser plugins for both Zoom and for WebEx, which do this.
Hmm.
Okay.
Hmm.
Test. I'm going to add Martina, just like I would do a normal meeting, right?
Hmm.
And then I'm going to say, make it a Zoom meeting or make it a WebEx meeting. And if I click Zoom, it goes out, talks to Zoom, remembers my credentials, schedules it and everything. And when I save it, you
Wow.
just got an invite, and I never had to go to the Zoom or the WebEx page. And now you've got a
Oh,
calendar
cool.
invite with the link, and you can do it for
Oh,
Zoom
that's
or for
cool.
WebEx.
Yeah.
All you need to do is to install the browser plugin.
Hmm.
Okay, which is,
Oh
where the
yeah, I
heck is
just
it?
got the email that you invited me to the mess. That you
Yeah,
invited me to the meeting. Yep.
yep.
Mm,
And
that's cool.
and I didn't have
Hmm.
to go through and do anything on it. And the nice thing about it
Yeah.
is you can go when you're looking at it and all the usual thing and find a time and see when, if I don't have access to your calendar, but you can
Hmm.
find a time and work with it and do just how you would normally schedule something in Google Land, but you can make the meetings any of the 4 platforms: Microsoft Teams, WebEx, Zoom, Google. It's just a matter of what
Yeah.
you want to use. So makes your
Cool.
life a little easier. And I live in video. I'm typically 4 to 6 video meetings a day. So
Wow. Okay.
yeah, that's my world.
Okay. Cool. Wow.
Hey, any other
Thanks so
questions?
much. No, no, this was great to learn about all these tools. I've never gone into the WebEx world, so I learned a lot.
It's it's a more complex world, and there are
Hmm.
things that I didn't even show you. That's
Hmm.
called WebEx trainings, and
Okay.
WebEx support, which my service desk students use, which actually could invite you to a session, and then they can remote control your computer and actually fix things and help with things on. You have to grant them permissions, of course, for it.
Yeah. Yeah. Right. Yeah.
So
Cool though.
there's a lot
Yeah.
more capabilities to it than Zoom, but Zoom is a great product. Don't get
Mhm.
me wrong, but
Yeah. Yeah.
it's generally for more simple meetings where you're not using all the complex features. You can do a lot of it, but
Okay.
I think WebEx
Yeah.
is
Yeah.
a
Yeah.
superior product. That's my own opinion.
All right. And so you invite people to meetings using a link, sort of the same as Zoom.
Oh, sure.
Yeah. Okay. So it's the
Yeah,
same.
I do it. And
A
if
lot
you're
of it's
on there,
similar in
if
the
you're
sense.
on your
Yeah.
web page, very, very similar. If you're
Yeah.
on your web page and you're going to, your profile and your meetings and so on and so forth, you have all of these same type of capabilities. And that's why it's not signed in. Clicking signed in, pick my account. Yeah, yeah, yeah. You already know me. And it's all behind SSO and 2-factor. And thank you very much.
Hmm.
In my opinion, it's just, I feel much safer with it. In fact,
Hmm.
the IT security believes that it's safer too in our purchasing department. And we train the doctors in health services, and they're doing their video sessions
Oh
with
yeah.
folks here. So from here, you
Yeah.
can do it from here to schedule a meeting, but 90% of the meetings are done through the calendar plugin. And, I very
Okay.
rarely come to this page.
Okay.
So this, and if you want the app, there's downloads, and you can download the app, and you can also
Okay.
get the Cisco
Yeah.
WebEx for the
Wow.
Google Workspace, and
Hmm.
so on and so forth. But
Cool.
and you, as I mentioned, you get the full-blown webinar here, and you can set up a
Hmm.
schedule in a series, and you have the panelist options and advanced options of dealing with people, and you can put in you can edit participants privileges right here, and you can have exit polling, and there's other options that are in here which are set up. And if
Hmm.
you notice, this looks very, very similar to a meeting, because it's really just a regular meeting that has been
Hmm.
customized for it. But
Okay.
and setting up templates is kind of cool, because you can do that too. So it's
Yeah.
just a matter of what you want to use.
Great.
Okay.
Thanks so much.
Oh, how did Charlene get in here? Hi, Charlene. We were just finishing up.
Maybe she's joining the next session.
There isn't a next session of WebEx.
Oh, okay.
Charlene, are you there?
Well, thanks so much. I gotta run.
You're
Um,
welcome. Thank you for attending.
I want to catch some more talk later. But thanks so
Hour.
much. Nice to
Okay.
meet
Take care. Bye now.
you. Bye.
Hi, folks. We were just wrapping up. The session started at 9.
I have WebEx on my computer. The application I had computer. I had to reinstall it, so now I have 2 WebEx connections.
Okay.
I'll have to talk to our IT guy about the problem.
Okay. Well, yeah, you can just uninstall it. You shouldn't have 2 different ones, but were you intending to try and come into this training session?
I was, yeah.
Okay. It started at 9. We were just finishing. It was 9 to 9:45 on the engagement schedule.
Are you recording it?
We did not record this. I'd be happy to do a quick session for you at a different time. Why don't you shoot me an email,
Okay.
and maybe we can set a half an hour aside and go through some things. If you're interested in using WebEx, do you use Zoom mostly?
I use Zoom mostly, so it would be good to get an overview on WebEx.
Okay, do me a favor, shoot me an email, because I do have a 10 o'clock that I have to get into, which is a different matter. And we'll carve out some time that just you and I can do a one-on-one session next week.
Thank you very much.
All right, take care now. Bye-bye.
Bye.